Lovely to see you. So one of the nice guys of American politics tried to be nice while running for president and no one wanted him. Tim Scott is out, and where he sends his 1 or 2% of the vote, let's see.
Yeah, that's not really going to make much of a difference. However, I do think it's interesting that Tim Scott, because as Charles C.W. Cook of National Review put it, was actually running for president, decided to bail when he realized it wasn't going to happen. That's exactly what happened with Mike Pence, too. They were actually running for president. They came to the harsh reality it wasn't going to happen. And for the good of the country and themselves, they stepped aside. Chris Christie is not running to be president. Chris Christie is running just to sling mud at Donald Trump as often and as powerfully as he can. And so why doesn't he get out? He's not going to win anything. He has zero chance of getting the nomination. Okay, so he can stay in. He can be somewhat of a spoiler. It's annoying. And honestly, at this point, you could argue it's unpatriotic. Same thing is true for, let's see, I don't know. I mean, I guess that would leave us with 3. You got Vivek, Nikki, and Ron DeSantis after Chris Christie. Now, Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis have a shot. Vivek has no shot. I know he has a lot of supporters, but his poll numbers have done this steadily since the first debate. So he's going in the wrong direction, and he wasn't starting up very high. His peak was like 11%, which is around where Ron DeSantis has hovered. But you cannot wrest the nomination away from Haley and DeSantis. And, oh, yeah, there's a matter of Donald Trump, who's 60 points ahead of Vivek, or 55, at 5% support. So what's he doing in there? It's really a head-to-head match at this point between Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. And if one of them doesn't cede the field, they're going to lose again to Donald Trump.
New York Times poll that we spoke about in some detail last week, the deeper version of it has come out in the past couple of days, and it shows Trump on 39, Biden on 35, but then RFK on 25. You've also got Jill Stein, who was there in 2016 running for the Greens, and the Senator Manchin, Joe Manchin, of course, who's getting out of West Virginia, and he's going to go on a national tour, which of course may well mean he ends up as a potential option. Now, again, none of these people that aren't the Republican or the Democrat end up becoming the president. But it is really interesting to see that RFK, with all of the crazy, I think he's going to be the candidate for, frankly, the, dare I say, the podcast and Twitter world that don't want to play Biden and Trump again. That's why if he gets 15%, he actually qualifies at a presidential debate. And that would be fascinating to see. First time since Ross Perot back in 92.
I would love to see RFKJ at a presidential debate. He's such an interesting man, and he's got very well-founded opinions on a number of things. And I realize he's a bit conspiratorial, too. He's not right about everything, but good luck challenging him on his facts, because he's got them at the ready and he's prepared to argue them, which will not be the case for either Trump or Biden. But alas, we are in fantasy world because there's not going to be any general election debates. RFKJ would be the only one standing up there with Jill Stein, I guess, because mark my words, Biden's going to say, if it's Biden, I'm not standing up there next to an insurrectionist. I'm not standing up there next to somebody who's a convicted felon, which Trump probably will be by that time, because he can't do it. He can't. We absolutely know he cannot debate against Donald Trump. Just to bring up the things he lied about the first time between the two of them, and their last 3 debates together would be enough to sink him, but forget all of his cognitive abilities and so on. And I think at this point, Paul, Trump may be very happy to take that ticket out, because Trump's lost some spin on his fastball, to put it charitably, himself, and is not exactly a spring chicken. And I'm sure he would love to skip not only the primary debates, but the general election debate as well, and coast right into the presidency, because right now that's how his polls make it look, is he's going to do.
But